Hi guys, so I'm coming to you today with something that I wanted to show you, and these are the new Wet n Wild holiday sets, the limited edition color icon baked sets. Wet n Wild has been coming out with some great products for the past few years. I'm sure most of you are very familiar with these six pan palettes, the 3-pan palettes, and somewhere around here I have the 8-pan palettes. These have been very popular within the past, I'll say like 2 years. And they've been just gaining popularity, and I think Wet n Wild has been kind of getting their reputation back. When I first started using Wet n Wild, I was a kid, and they were just like the lipsticks my mom would buy for $1 and throw like in the car for an emergency. They weren't, or you know, what she wouldn't mind buying for me because it was cheap and I could play around with it. And it had this very distinct smell. I don't know if any of you remember that, but Wet n Wild had this very distinct, like, fake makeup-y smell. So yeah, Wet n Wild has come a long way because now their products are pigmented and pretty and current and with the trends. I mean, like, look at this palette here. This is the I Got Good Jeans 3-pan, and that's just gorgeous. And you know, my favorite is the Lust 6-pan. I mean, a variety of shades. So now for this holiday season, they came out with 3 different kinds of sets. They had glitter cream palettes, which I saw a lot of reviews of, and most of them said they creased a lot and that they don't have that much glitter. I don't use glitter on my eyes all that often, so I skipped those. They also had an I Heart Matte palette. Matte, M-A-T-T-E, not matte, a person. I skipped that one strictly because the colors that they contained were colors I already have from Wet n Wild in other palettes. They had a white, which was this white from the Greed palette. They had the green from the Greed palette. They had a blue, which I actually don't have the blue unless it's the blue from the Greed, but I hope it's not. And they had a purple, and it was this purple from the Lust palette, which is a gorgeous purple, by the way. They also had neutral colors, so they had like a light beigey color, which I believe is this one from Vanity. Then they had a peachy color, which was this one. Then there's a brown color, and then there's a solid black, which is that bottom one from the Greed palette. So I already have almost all the colors with the exception of maybe the blue and the brown, so I didn't go for that either. Those were the palettes. The other palettes are $5 each. So now that's all the way. The ones that I did want were the baked palettes. They had 3 baked palettes. One was Baked Not Fried, which was a neutral kind of goldish color. The other one is Baking a Cake, which are pinks and purples. And the other one was Bake Off Contest, which were metallic silvers and blues. I didn't buy the last one, the Bake Off Contest silvers and blues, because I never wear blue. I never wear silver. It's just not something I'm comfortable with. And I know it's only $5 for the palette. I could have bought it and played around, but I know I'm not going to use it, and I'm just not going to spend like that right now. So let me get to these. I bought the 2, so I bought Baking a Cake and Baked Not Fried. So these are the packs. This is what they look like. They're at Walgreens only, and they're only at certain Walgreens. You might have to do a little search for this, but they are out now, and I recommend going now. When I went, there was only one of each palette left in my particular Walgreens. You really have to search for them too. I had to go into the hair care aisle, and it was not on the end cap. It was on like the side of the end cap, kind of in the aisle, but on the end. You really have to look for them. And the way that the thing is set up is that it says Wet n Wild, and it has these snowflakes, this kind of holiday snowflake pattern, and then it has mascara, lip liners, the matte palette, and then the baked palettes. The only reason why I think is why they put it on the bottom is because like it's going to empty quick and they don't want empty things on the shelves, but you really have to search for these. You're going to work for your $5 palette. So each of the palettes comes with a liner and then the palette. This is it. It's $5. So this is Baked Not Fried, and this is the tray. Now, they don't have the names on the back, so you might want to write them. I'm going to write it later. And you lift it off. It comes completely off. Some people say it's annoying, but I'll mention later. I think there's actually a purpose to that. Now this has like, it's kind of indented in. Maybe it's just me, but the way that it is, especially with this little thing here and everything, because it's supposed to be baked, this reminds me of like a cupcake tin with like a tray of cupcakes. I don't know, I'm crazy. Um, so baked not fried is this one, and these, it's actually showing it pretty true to what they really look like. They're just these like goldy neutral colors. I'm gonna swatch them for you dry, but then I'm gonna swatch them for you wet. My biggest complaint about these products, I have a lot. I have only a few baked eyeshadows, but the ones I have are the Lorac ones, and they're pretty good. And you could swatch them completely dry and they're fine. These, I find, when you swatch them dry, are very sparse and just kind of shimmery, but when you swatch them wet, you get a completely different thing. So this is the first creamy color, and that's it right there. It's just this pretty shimmery off-white pearl color, and that's the creamiest feel of the whole thing. Next is this copper, and if you could see, the swatch is kind of chunky and sparse, but it is a very pretty color. It does have glitter in it, chunky glitter. So now the next one is, yeah, this one. And it's like a champagne, and then it has swirls of a bright gold and pink. It actually comes out like a rose gold color, and that's that. It's not champagne, it's definitely more of a rose gold. So then we have over here, by my thumb, and that's a swirl, and that's a gold with a darker gold and like an orange swirl. And that's it there. It's more of a gold. So they have the two bottom shades, and there's this like bronzy brown, and then there's a chocolatey brown. So these are the two, I think. This is the bronzy brown. You can see the reddish tone to it, and this is the chocolatey brown. These are the most pigmented dry. So I'm just gonna wipe my fingers off, and then I'm gonna try them wet for you as well. What I found to work best is not to actually like wet them, but what I did was I sprayed some Fix Plus in this tray that you lift off as the cover, and then I dipped my brush into the tray and kind of used it like a palette. I mean, I don't know if that's wrong, but that's what worked. I'm actually wearing this palette today. I have the marbly light color in the middle, and then I used the dark color on the edge. I feel like I had to do a lot of blending in order to get this look to look right, and I still kind of don't feel like it looks all that great in person, but I'll get more to that later. So yeah. Oh, and another option for primer might be like, again, might be like the Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk from NYX, because I feel like everything would show up on that. But again, you have to be careful with blending. So let me grab my Fix Plus. Here's Fix Plus. And I'll do some wet swatches. So now I just sprayed it once in the tray. You can see it. And I'm just going to use my finger. I just dabbed it in. And it's wet. And that's the white. You can see it's really shiny. And this is where you get the difference. Look at the second bronzy color. It's not that chunky color anymore. Now it's like an actual shadow that you can really use and get some stuff out of. This is that swirly rose gold. Here's that gold. This comes out like an antique gold. That's the one closest to my wrist. And the other two. This is that dark chocolate brown. And you gotta be careful with the wet stuff. And this is that reddish brown, which comes out gorgeous when it's wet. So the difference between them dry and wet is kind of amazing, really, if you think about it. It's like a whole new shadow. So I'm going to very, very quickly swatch the next one, which is Baking Cake. This is Baking Cake, and these are purples and pinks. And I'm going to just swatch these wet because it's not worth showing you guys basically how crappy the dry swatches are, because they are not good. Okay, so this first one is this really pretty pearly pink. I'm just going to put them on my hand. So while I swatch them, I just want to show you guys, tell you guys, I mean, I think they're good in general. I think that they're not bad, but I think if you're looking for something that's a little more reliable, maybe you might want to go, especially for the gold, for something along the lines of like that Lorac set that I said, the little black palette, which I've showed you guys in my birthday video from last year. If you guys want to take a look at that, that palette is awesome if you're looking for baked gold shadows. That's really great. So I'm just swatching these for you guys so you could see. I'm pretty sure there's a dupe also, by the way, or at least a double. This chocolatey brown color, I think, is in both of these palettes. So this is my hand. The first one over here is this pearly pink, then the hot pink, then it's this swirly gold purple pink, then next to it is like a deeper pink, then you have the bright purple and the chocolate. So that's that. These two colors closest to my wrist are actually very interesting. Those are these two marble colors. They're more interesting than I thought and a little more neutral than I thought. They're kind of like mauvey, taupey purples. So those are actually kind of cool to use. The eyeliners are waxy, crappy. Throw them in a bag somewhere. If you really need them in an emergency, use them. But not great. Don't count on them being great. Other than that, I think the colors are really pretty. It's an interesting concept. It's a great stocking stuffer, and I think that they're really cute as gifts. Don't expect them to be excellent. Don't expect them to work dry. You're gonna need to use them wet, and so just use them at your own risk. They're fun to play around with and fun to check out, try out, have fun with. This is what I came up with. I'm sure that I'm gonna try to come up with some more stuff soon. I will let you know in the down bar if after tonight they crease. If you don't see anything, then they didn't crease. But other than that, have a great day. Bye.